The mat held, but my heart slipped. It was March 2023, 2 years ago, and I was 25. A yoga instructor, flowing through poses in Brooklyn's neon-lit rooftop scene. I practiced a shield against a past that had unbalanced my trust. My name's Theo, and New York was my mat. Its skyline and electric nights a rebellion against the Queens suburb where I'd hidden my queerness until I came out at 16 in 2014. A ghosting ex had left me centering alone. Its betrayal in 2021 still twisting my heart, so I'd sworn off love, pouring my soul into my flow stretches, breaths, Brooklyn's pulse. But that night, Brooklyn had other plans, ones that stretched my heart into a new pose. The Neon Yoga Fest was a glow of energy. A surge of light green neons, flashing yoga, purple strobes swirling, lo-fi and indie beats thumping, festival goers, hyped in athleisure, and LED headbands. My rooftop, flow vibe was alive, my mat steady, my short brown hair tucked under a headband, my sneakers soft as I let a moonlit flow. I was mid-posed, the crowd humming, when a blogger, Finn, tripped over. My spare mat, his camera crashing, my flow cut short. The crowd gasped, my balance lost, and I snapped, "Yo, watch the gear!" He turned Finn, maybe 27, his long blonde hair loose, a loose hoodie glowing, his gray eyes wide, flustered like a spark in the neon haze. I wanted to realign Queens. Scars yelling, "Keep your flow tight," but his eyes caught me, warm under the neon, my heart bending like a warped mat. "My bad," he said, scrambling to grab his camera, his voice smooth, Brooklyn lilt, cutting through the murmurs, his fingers brushing mine on the mat, a jolt igniting my skin. I checked my setup, still intact, and Finn leaned in, his cologne lavender, mint mixing with the festival's crisp air. "I'm Finn," he said, dusting his hoodie, his grin shy but electric. "Blogger. Caught your flows on Instagram Zen." My cheeks burned, Queen's walls trembling. But his vibe felt too much like my ex's charm, too risky to hold. My ex had been a vlogger, all hype until he ghosted me in 2021. Leaving me to practice alone in Queen's dim studios, my trust off balance. I reset my mat, but Finn lingered, his eyes tracing mine, like he saw the pose beneath my headband. "Let me make it up," he said, offering to snap my next flow, the crowd cheering as I resumed. The neon pulsed, Brooklyn's energy urging. Me too stretch, but I deflected. "I'm good," I said, voice sharp, adjusting my stance. Finn's laugh bright, warm cut through, his hand grazing my wrist, a spark I couldn't balance. "Check my posts," he said, nodding to his booth, his eyes daring. "Or are you too stuck in your flow?"
Ow.
I wanted to stay in my pose, but Finn's grin pulled me to his setup, the neon flaring green, purple, blue A's. Lo-fi beats thumped louder. His blogging booth was sleek monitors flashing yoga reels, his Instagram posts trending with mindful montages, the crowd buzzing. My pulse raced, Queen's ghosts fading, Brooklyn's heat urging me to roll. But mid-clip, a mat stack wobbled, Finn stumbling toward the rooftop edge. I lunged, grabbing his arm, pulling him back, our eyes locking, his breath hot against my cheek. "Nice save," he gasped, his grin electric, his hair brushing my jaw. My heart surged, but doubt clung. Was he real? Or just another Brooklyn reel, ready to ghost like my ex? I pulled back, the neon blurring as I retreated to my mat, Brooklyn's rhythm syncing with my fear. "Thanks for the catch," Finn called, following me, his hoodie open, his eyes softer now, less flash, more real. "Stay," he said, voice low, a plea in his Brooklyn lilt. The festival buzzed, neon glowing brighter, city hum pulsing nearby, and I knew this wasn't just a tripped mat. This was Brooklyn, stretching me into a pose I wasn't ready for. But couldn't release asterisk. The festival rooftop was a neon studio blue lights pulsing yoga. Green strobes flashing, indie beats driving the crowd wild. Finn dragged me too. His blogging booth, his camera off, his hands light on my shoulders, urging me to try a new pose for his lens. My pulse hammered, Queen's scars begging me to center, but Brooklyn's heat crisp. Electric kept me flowing, my headband loose. Finn's grin pulling me deeper. "Not bad, Yoga King," he teased, voice low, his breath sparking a shiver. Knew you had a vibe, I shot back, steadier than I felt. My instructor's calm, matching his energy. My ex had posted promises like this. All likes until he ghosted. Me in 2021, leaving me to flow alone in Queen's cracked studios, my heart unsteady. Finn's touch was different, bold yet careful, his eyes searching mine, like he saw the stretch beyond my mat. The music slowed, a chill lo-fi track, and Finn stepped closer, his chest grazing mine. His cone lavender, mint intoxicating. Why are you bailing? He asked, voice piercing like he knew my walls. My throat tightened, Queen's pain surging, but Brooklyn's neon urged me to speak. I don't trust bloggers, I confessed, voice raw, the crowd fading. Just us in the neon glow. Finn's grin softened, his eyes dimming. Less spark, more human. His hand still on my arm, warm, grounding. I'm not that guy, he said, voice firm, his Brooklyn lilt tinged with hurt. Just a dude who saw your flows and couldn't scroll away. My heart twisted, his words hitting like a perfect pose. Raw, clear, shaking Queen's grip. Thought of my ex's likes, but Finn's gaze was open, unguarded. The neon pulsed, Brooklyn's energy wrapping us, and I wanted to believe him, but fear held me. My headband slipping, my pulse a wobbled stance. We moved to my mat, neon green. Purple glinting off my gear, lo-fi a soft hum, the festival's buzz fading. Finn leaned in, voice quieter, less flirty, more real. I'm a blogger, he said. Chase stories, live for the post, but your flow's they're real, Theo, like you. His words felt sincere, but a festival goer nearby scoffed, calling. Finn Brooklyn's clickbait, always posting, never staying. My stomach sank, Queen's scars screaming. Release? That true? I asked, voice sharp, my mat still, eyes locked on his. Finn's eyes widened, hurt flashing, but he didn't dodge. I post, he said, voice low, but I don't ghost. The neon flared, Brooklyn's pulse mocking my doubt, urging me. To hear him, I stood, ready to pack my gear, the neon blazing. My sneakers soft on the rooftop, Brooklyn's rhythm syncing with my fear. Finn grabbed my wrist, gentle, his eyes pleading, raw, unguarded.
Ouch.
Don't break the pose, he said, voice cracking, cutting through the festival's hum. I'm not your ex, Theo. My heart raced, his touch electric, Brooklyn's heat. Urging me to stay, but Queen's voice hissed, heel ghost. Prove it, I challenged, voice trembling a desperate hope. Finn's grip steadied, his eyes burning with resolve, the neon glowing brighter. Brooklyn daring us to hold. I stepped away, the city's hum blending with the neon buzz, Finn following, his hoodie catching the green and purple lights, his eyes fixed on me. The night air was cool, a light breeze off the East River, Brooklyn's energy alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. I knew this wasn't just a tripped mat or a saved stumble. This was us, two sparks riding Brooklyn's neon flow. Fighting to stick the pose, caught in a scene the city was filming. One I wasn't sure I could trust, but couldn't release. A light breeze swept through Williamsburg, Brooklyn's neon green signs. Purple rooftop streaks shimmering in the festival's afterglow as I walked away in March 2023. My gear heavy, my heart heavier. Finn's clickbait label echoed. Too close to my ex's likes? Queen's scars screaming? Bail, Theo, wait. Finn called, chasing me, his hair messy, his gray eyes wild, desperate. What's wrong? He asked, voice slicing through the breeze. I spun, anger flaring. Headband off. You're just a clickbait, I snapped, voice raw, shaking. I'm not your next post, Finn. The neon flickered, the city humming, Brooklyn's pulse mocking my fear, urging me to listen. Finn's face fell, his grin gone, his eyes raw, wounded, breeze ruffling his hair like tears. You believe that? He said, voice low, cracked. Heavy with pain, I'm not your ex, Theo. He stepped closer, neon painting his face green and purple, his hands open, vulnerable. I blog. Yeah, I chase stories, but I've been burned guys who wanted my posts, not me. Left me writing alone in 2021. My chest tightened, his story mirroring mine. Queen's betrayal fading under his truth, but doubt lingered. Could I trust him? Or was Brooklyn's neon just another filter? The breeze softened, his eyes pleading, raw, urging me to stay. Finn grabbed my hand, his fingers warm despite the breeze. His grip soft, his eyes blazing with resolve. "You're different," he said, voice steady, a vow carved in Brooklyn's glow. "Your flows. Your heart eyes saw you before I knew you." My breath hitched, his words hitting like a flawless pose, raw, clear, cracking my walls. I thought of my flows, my soul poured into Brooklyn's pulse, the festival's cheers lifting me. "Why me?" I whispered, voice soft, breeze slowing, neon softening. "Because you're my center," he said, his hand steadying mine, grounding me. "I'm done with solos. Theo, I want the flow." The breeze faded, Brooklyn's neon puddles glowing like stars, the city's hum a promise overhead, Manhattan's skyline faint in the glow. I wanted to trust Finn, to shed Queen's pain, but trust was a pose I'd bailed before. His hand anchored me, his gaze unwavering, and I felt it a shift, a flow, Brooklyn's energy urging me to stretch. "One more pose," I said, voice low, a test, a hope, headband loose. Finn's grin returned, soft, real, and he nodded, pulling me back toward the festival, the neon brighter. My fears dissolving like tension in Brooklyn's heat. We stepped back into the neon yoga fest, neon green, purple embracing us, lo-fi pulsing like a heartbeat, the crowd alive again. Finn's hand stayed in mine, his touch grounding me in the chaos, and I knew this wasn't just a crash. This was us, two scarred souls finding a flow in Brooklyn's neon jungle, daring to stretch, to trust, to land, even if it scared us both. Brooklyn's heat fueling our fight. The festival wasn't just a rooftop hit, was a vibe. Food trucks lined the street below, their neon signs buzzing, serving smoothies and falafel, the air thick with citrus and city dust. Yogis flowed nearby, their mats humming, green and purple lights flashing across their gear. A group of teens filmed TikToks. By a glowing yoga sign, their laughter blending with the indie bass line. My friend Sam, a yoga coach with a shaved head and a rainbow wristband, caught my eye, smirking as he adjusted a pose. "Theo, you're off balance," he teased, nodding at Finn. "He's got you flowing." I rolled my eyes, but my grin betrayed me, Finn's hand still in mine, grounding me. Finn's blogging booth was a vision monitor's looping mindful clips, LED strips casting green and purple hues, his Instagram posts trending with viral flows. A young yogi, Lila, maybe 20, with dreads and neon bands, ran up, fist-bumping Finn. "You filming him?" she asked, pointing at me, her giggle bright. Finn laughed, nudging her shoulder. "Maybe he's guiding me," he said, his eyes flicking. To mine, soft, real, my heart skipped, Queen's shadows fading, Brooklyn's neon urging me to stay. I adjusted my mat, testing a pose, the crowd cheering as Finn snapped, our rhythm syncing. Back at my rooftop, the neon flared purple strobes cutting through the green haze, the crowd denser now, hyped over my flow. Finn stood close, adjusting, his camera, his hoodie catching the glow, his eyes never leaving mine. I thought of Queens, the nights I'd practiced in silence, my ex's likes fading my flows. Finn was different, his presence steady, his laugh a spark that lifted me. "You're nailing it," he whispered, leaning in, his breath warm, sparking a shiver. "Ah!" Grinned, my mat dancing under my feet. Brooklyn's heat urging me to dive deeper. Asterisk, the festival wasn't just yoga, it was stories. A meditation coach nearby led a session, her voice humming, green and purple lights glinting off her beads. A drag queen in a neon headband hyped the crowd, her voice booming, "Brooklyn, let's flow." My cousin Nate, who'd moved from Queens, watched from the crowd, his rainbow cap glinting, his nod a quiet cheer. He'd seen me crash after 2021, knew how hard I'd fought to find my flow in Brooklyn. Finn caught his eye, waving, and Nate mouthed, "He's chill," making me laugh mid-pose, my heart lighter than it had been in years. Finn's past wasn't clean either. Over kombucha at his booth, he shared Fragments 2021, a brand deal. That promise collapsed but ghosted him, leaving him blogging in Brooklyn's co-working spaces, his dreams on pause. "I thought I'd lost my spark," he said, voice low, his fingers tracing the rim of his glass. "Then I saw your flows, Theo, your soul in those poses." My chest tightened, his honesty a pose that landed, Queen's pain fading further. I shared my own scars, my ex's ghosting, the nights I'd float alone, doubting I'd ever trust again. Finn listened, his eyes steady, his hand finding mine. A silent vow in the neon glow. The festival pulsed on, the crowd growing wilder. As the night deepened, neon signs brighter against the Manhattan skyline. A group of yogis spun lead hoops, their moves syncing with the lo-fi beat. While a food truck chef tossed smoothies to cheering fans, Sam joined us, his mat under his arm, joking, "You two are a montage, Theo." Leela, Finn's yogi friend, visited, showing off a neon journal she'd designed, her bands flashing as she grinned. The rooftop where we flowed buzzed with yogis, their clips now including Ustu figures, hands linked, neon lines glowing. Brooklyn wasn't just a place, it was our mat, our flow, our love. Etched in every pose we landed, we wandered to Williamsburg's streets. The festival's hum fading, the neon signs reflecting in puddles. The city's hum a steady pulse. Hands stayed in mine, his hoodie brushing my arm, his eyes soft, real. "You're not just a yogi," he said, voice low, cutting through the breeze. "You're a flow, Theo one." I can't stop filming. My heart surged, Queen's scars silent, Brooklyn's heat urging me to believe. I thought of my ex's views, but Finn's words were different, unguarded, a pose I wanted to land. "You're not bad yourself," I said, grinning, headband loose. My pulse syncing with his. The rooftop studio above the festival glowed under Brooklyn's skyline, green neon towers flashing yoga. Purple-lit bridges swaying, the east. River shimmering below like a dark mat. Finn and I sat close, my gear packed, his camera tucked away, our kombuchas sweating on the table. His gray eyes locked on mine, no longer flashing, just open, raw, vulnerable, my pulse racing. "You're still here," he said, voice soft, carrying hope, his hair catching neon. I nodded, Queen's scars quiet, Brooklyn's heat urging me to dive. Queens had taught me to hide. To flow in dim studios alone, my ex's likes in 2021, a scar I carried to Brooklyn. Finn's hand found mine, his fingers tracing my knuckles. His touch a spark lighting the studio, warm, electric. "I've messed up," he admitted, voice raw, cutting through the neon haze. "Chased collabs, trusted the wrong guys in 2021. But with you, Theo, your flows, your heart I'm real." My breath caught, his words vivid, like a perfect stretch, his eyes burning gray. Brooklyn's skyline pulsing, his truth crashing over me. Finn stood, his silhouette framed by neon, his voice rising, raw, a confession under Brooklyn's stars. "I'm falling for you," he said, eyes locked on mine. Neon exploding green, purple, blue, the studio trembling with his truth. The festival pulsed below, oblivious, but my world froze. His words a tide washing Queen's fear, leaving only us. I thought of my ex's cuts, but Finn was different, his gaze, his voice, his heart real, and I was falling too. "I'm scared," I whispered, headband off, voice shaky. But Finn's hands cupped my face, his thumbs brushing my cheeks, warm, steadying. I stood, my gear forgotten. Our eyes locked, tension electric, air thick with Brooklyn's heat. "To me, too," he murmured, voice soft. "But I want this, Theo, me, this city, all of it." The neon sang, green and blue swirling, and we kissed deep, wild, the city humming below. Skyline bursting, vivid, alive. The crowd cheered downstairs, unaware, but our kiss was ours. Sealing a flow eternal in Brooklyn's fire, neon wrapping us in a vow we'd fight for. Brooklyn's pulse fueling us. The kiss broke. Foreheads touching, neon softening. Brooklyn's. Warmth a blanket. My gear lay forgotten. Finn's camera glinting, his edits of neon flows glowing us, our montage inked in greens and purples. "We're filming this," he said, voice soft, grin bright, eyes promising more. I nodded hard. Full, Queen's scars fading under Brooklyn's magic, a promise we could keep. This wasn't just a kiss, it was us, two sparks in Brooklyn's chaos. Burning bright, ready to flow love, one neon night at a time. Now, 2 years later, in March 2025, I stand at Flow Vib, guiding a new flow, smiling at the memory.
Finn's
Posts light up our shared studio, his stories styling Brooklyn's yoga scene, our love a pose that's kept rolling. My name is Theo, and this is our story, a gay love sparked in Brooklyn's neon, fighting to shine. Will we outshine Brooklyn's? Glow, or stay lost in its vibrant flow? Dawn broke over Williamsburg that March 2023 morning. Brooklyn's skyline fading as purple sunrise spilled across the East River, neon signs dimming as the city stirred. Finn and I walked the streets, hands linked, my mat slung over my shoulder, his camera case tucked under his arm. Brooklyn had realigned my soul, its neon heart sparking a love I never thought I'd find. Finn's gray eyes met mine, his hoodie loose, smile soft, a vow brighter than the neon that brought us together. "We're landing this," he said, voice steady, hand squeezing mine, Brooklyn's dawn, sealing our promise. Warm real Queens was a shadow now. My ex's likes in 2021 a faint wobble, placed by Finn's warmth, his bold posts, his heart that saw my soul through the neon haze. We'd built a life, hear my flows ruling Brooklyn's rooftops. Finn's stories trending online, our love a frame Brooklyn filmed. I thought of that night, the tripped mat, the saved stumble, the rooftop kiss that changed everything, neon. Painting us in greens and purples, "You're my perfect pose," I said, grinning, headband loose, voice steady, no longer afraid. Finn laughed, pulling me close, lips brushing my forehead. City humming a chorus of hope, alive, endless. I pictured us. My mind flowing poses, Finn's stories, Brooklyn's skyline, a vivid montage of our love, bold and bright. Finn watched. Arm around me, his touch grounding me, the streets alive with joggers, yogis, city's rhythm syncing with ours. We'd faced challenges, Brooklyn's grind, the world's cuts, our fears, but we were enough, our flow stronger than any bale. "Let's make it a banger," Finn said, grin bright eyes, promising forever, or as close as Brooklyn could give. Brooklyn's pulse beat in us, a love story inked in neon and dawn, shining on. The streets weren't just a path, it was a mat. A street yogi flowed nearby, his mat humming, green and purple lights flashing across his gear. A biker zipped past, his LED tires glowing, shouting, "Keep the vibe, yogis!" Nate, my cousin, joined us, his camera snapping candids, his smile wide. "You're flowing, Theo," he said, his voice soft, knowing the weight of my queens. Days. Finn grinned, tossing him a memory card, and Nate laughed. The moment light, real. Brooklyn's dawn wrapping us in hope. Our studio became our hub mats lining the walls. Finn's monitors glowing with edits, our neon sign buzzing flow vibe. Sam dropped by, his mat tapping a beat, joking, "You two are a real Theo." Leela, Finn's yogi friend, visited, showing off a neon journal she'd designed, her bands flashing as she grinned. The rooftop where we flowed buzzed with yogis. Their clips now, including US2 figures, hands linked, neon lines glowing. Brooklyn wasn't just a place, it was our mat, our flow, our love, etched in every pose we landed. My heart glowed, it's our story vivid. 2 boys, 1 city, a love that fought and won against the odds. But a question lingered, soft as the dawn breeze. Could any love outlast the world's wobbles, or was this flow enough? I looked at Finn, hand in mine, a rainbow wristband matching mine, glinting in the sunrise, and knew we'd try, one neon night at a time. Brooklyn had given us a mat, and we'd flowed our story bold, gay, vibrant for the city's skyline. To film, this wasn't just a love. This was our flow, our spark, our forever. Alive in Brooklyn's neon shine, if this story set your heart stretching, smash like, Drop a comment with your Brooklyn love story. And subscribe for more gay love stories. What's your neon flow? Help us hit 1,000 subscribers. Your vibe keeps these poses alive. Chase your neon and tell us, will Theo and Finn's love outshine Brooklyn's glow, or is there flow enough? My name is Theo, and this is our story, a gay love born in Brooklyn's chaos, flowing bright forever. Or as long as Brooklyn's neon glows. We walked into Brooklyn's crowd that morning. Hand in hand, my gear packed, Brooklyn's skyline, a promise above. The neon signs flickered back on, our flow igniting, our love a gay story vivid, flowing forever in Brooklyn's heat. This was our montage, a love inked in Brooklyn's neon heart, one sunrise at a time, for the world to see.